Good morning, Year 4, and welcome to the third lesson in our multiplication and division unit, which carries on from what we were doing yesterday on written multiplication methods. So today we're going to be looking at how we represent multiplication problems in different ways. We're going to be using repeated addition to solve multiplication problems, and we will be moving on to using a more formal column method for multiplication. So for now, if you could just pause the video and write today's date and learning objective, which is to multiply 2 digits by 1 digit with no exchanges. So, to get our brains ready, I've got a warm-up question for you. I would like you to think of how many different ways can you represent 13 plus 13? Could you do it with pictures, with place value counters, with numbers? Have a go, see how many you can come up with. Pause the video now. Wonder if you came up with as many of these. So I've used base 10. I've used place value counters. I've done it as a column addition, done it with a picture, and there are another couple of ways that we can represent it with numbers. For example, we could say 2 lots of, or multiplied by, 13. Or we can represent it as a column multiplication. Oops. "13 multiplied by 2. I wonder how many you got of those. So let's work through a problem together. There's multiplication, and you can see I'm using our place value grids and our base 10 that we're quite familiar with now. So if there are 22 apples in a tree, how many apples are there in 3 trees? So if you can see, we've got 2 10s and 2 1s. So we've got one lot of 22. But that's in one tree. We want to know how many apples there are in 3 trees. So we need to have 3 lots of 22, like this. Then all we need to do now is add how many 1s we've got and how many 10s. And if we do that, we end up with 6 1s and 6 10s, which is 60. And 60 add 6 is 66. Well done if you got that right. So now, have a look at this. We need to show the counters, we need to show it as calculations in different ways. We're going to do it as a repeated addition and as a multiplication. So just pause the video now, have a go at writing 2 number sentences, and then you can check whether you've got it right. So we have got 10, 20, 30, 2. So as a repeated addition, we would have 32, add 32, add 32. Mrs. Stockley can't write very well on the computer. You probably gathered that by now. We also could write it as a multiplication. So we have got 3 lots of 32, and the answer is the same in both calculations. So we have 96. Did you get that right or not? Now, we're now going to move on using the column method to help us to calculate a multiplication question. Now, we need to really understand what we're doing here, because the column method is a really, really useful way of multiplying numbers together really efficiently, really quickly, okay? But there are some rules that we really need to remember, and they are super important. So if you need to pause the video at any time to write down those rules so that you can remember them, that might be a good thing to do. So the first rule is you must always put your numbers into the right place value columns. Okay, so here we've got 21. So 21 hasn't got any hundreds, so I'm not going to put anything in that hundreds column. And 21 has got 2 10s and 1 1. We always do the operation, in this case it's a multiplication, isn't it, at the side. And then the number that we are multiplying by, the 4, must go in the ones column. And then we would use a ruler to draw an answer box. Okay, so there's your first lot of rules. Now, remember when we did column addition and column subtraction? We always start at the ones. And we need to make sure that we multiply everything by this 4 down here. So we're going to start with the ones. So we say 1 multiplied by 4 equals 4. And we must keep it in the right column. Okay, mustn't go into a different column. And then we've done the 1, so we can kind of ignore that for now. If you want to, you can cross it out so that it doesn't confuse you. Then we move across to our next column, the 10s, and we have to say 2 multiplied by 4, which is 8. So that means that 24 multiplied by 4 equals 84. So now that we've practiced a few different methods for multiplying, what you're going to do, you're going to practice using these methods where you do your fluency, your reasoning and your problem solving. I'm just going to talk you through them now. So I've put them all on the same slide today, only because they're all the same kinds of questions. So if you start maybe with the mild one, you find it way too easy, then straight away you can jump up to the spicy challenge instead. Or you might start with the extra hot and think it's a little bit too tricky. So you might want to jump back, and it'll be easy for you to do that. Maybe if you complete one really quickly, you could move on, challenge yourself and try the next one as well. So for activity 1, you're going to look at the number that's represented in the place value grid and work out the answer to the calculations. And for activity 2, even if you can do these in your heads, I still want you to do it like it asks you to do. So you need to draw place value tables in your books to complete the calculations. And you can either use place value counters or you could use the base 10. It is up to you, but you must draw them out in a table and before you complete them. So pause the video now, choose your challenge, and good luck. Now, just pause the video and you can mark your own fluency questions. Remember, if it's right, give it a tick. If it's not right, have a quick look back and see if there's anything that you might need to change. Now, reasoning. You're going to be the teacher now. So, for activity 3, you've got some children who are doing some different calculations, but they have made some mistakes. So what you need to do is you need to find out what the correct answer should be. You need to work out what mistake they have made and explain why they've done it wrong. Pause the video now. If you would like to do the extra hot challenge for reasoning, have a look at this column multiplication. So Joe is calculating 23 multiplied by 3, but he's made a mistake. Can you spot his mistake and then explain why he's got it wrong? And then tell me the correct answer. Pause the video now and have a go. And here are the answers for the reasoning questions. Have a look what you've written, see if it's right. If it's not, have a look through, see if you can see what mistake you've made and try and correct it. Pause the video now. Okay, for problem solving today, if you're going to do the mile challenge, there's 2 parts to the question. Joe has 3 boxes of eggs. Each box has 12 eggs. How many eggs does he have? And Alice has 2 packs of 42 sweets. How many sweets does she have altogether? So work out what calculation you need to do. You can work it out however you like. You might want to do it in columns. You might want to use the place value grids. It is up to you. Pause the video now and have a go. For the spicy challenge today, Jack has 3 bags of sweets. Each bag has 22 sweets. How many sweets does he have? And Amy has 3 packs of 21 pens. How many pens does she have altogether? If you're going to do the spicy challenge, pause the video now. And for the extra hot challenge today, Jim has 3 boxes of cookies. Each box has 31 cookies. How many cookies does he have? And Andy has 4 packs of 21 sweets. How many sweets does she have altogether? Remember to show you're working out. Good luck. Pause the video now. Year 4, you can mark your own problem-solving questions. The answers are here. If you could pause the video now. Well done on some fantastic learning today. I hope you've become a little bit more confident with column multiplication. We'll be doing a lot more work on that over the next few weeks. Now, if you want an additional challenge, why don't you try making up some of your own word problems involving multiplication for somebody in your house to try to solve? Make sure that you know what the answers are too. Have fun, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.